recently received quite a few requests for how to make masks. Right now I've been making the 3D style masks, and this is some of the items you'll need. As you can see, these masks are pretty roomy, quite comfortable to wear. So first thing you'll need is a piece of fabric, which is 16 inches by 10 inches. You're going to need a couple of t-shirt ties, which I will link a video how to make these below. You're going to need some scissors, some sort of writing utensil, pen or pencil, nose strips, measuring. You can use a tape or a square, some clips, and a couple of 1/2 inch double fold bias tape, iron, and a few additional options are a one-way respirator, which I purchased off of Etsy. I'll link that below as well, and a carbon filter. Okay, so to start, you're going to want to iron your fabric out and get rid of all the wrinkles. You don't really have to do this, I just like to do it. Kind of helps make it look nicer. And then you're going to get your piece of fabric, fold it in half, and iron. And what I like to do is actually fold it this way and just kind of give it a little press there. And that'll mark the center of your fabric, so you'll know where to put your nose piece. To place your nose piece, you just lift up, and as you can see, you see your little cross there. And you're going to place your nose piece like so. And what you're going to do is sew around the nose piece here. Okay, so I realize that some of you maybe have not sewn in a nose piece into an item before, so I thought I would show. What I do is kind of feel for the piece of metal in there. You can't sew through that, you'll break your needle. So I put my thumb there, and then I place it on the outside of my presser foot. That way I know for sure I'm not gonna hit it at all. And you have to lock in your stitch, so make sure you forward stitch and then back stitch a couple of times before you sew it in completely. Lift your presser foot and then twist. Put your presser foot down, continue to sew, and you're going to do the same up the other side. And then, like I said, I felt for the metal piece, which I know I've passed already, it's back here. So now I'm just going to keep my finger there and then rotate, put my presser foot down, and sew, back stitch at the end. Okay, so what you can do at this point is trim these extra pieces off, or just wait until you're completely done with the project to do that. So for the next portion, after we've sewn in the nose piece, we're going to make the 3D portion. So basically what we're going to do is fold our fabric about 2.5 inches, 2 to 3. I do 2.5. It just depends what you want to do. So I make sure I'm there, and then I press. And what I'm going to do is sew about 1/4 inch in a line here. Now I don't backstitch because we're going to sew over it anyways. But that's how it's gonna look. Okay, so for the next step, what we're gonna do is sew the bottom pieces together. And for this, what you do is you put the right sides facing together. So you kind of flip it so that it looks like this. And you're gonna sew across here. about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so back at the machine, we're going to sew this portion. And for this you do want a back stitch since it's the back, the portion, the bottom portion. So this is what you have now. It is kind of like a tube, and what we're going to do is we're going to flip it inside out. So what I do is put my hand through the tube, grab the end, and just kind of turn it right sides out. And then what you have is a completed, basically, mask base. And the side with the sewn edge here is actually the front, so that's going to be facing out. What I do is press, make everything really nice and crisp. Okay, so for this next portion, what we're going to do is trim off the corners, and I would say it's about 1/2 of an inch that I take off. What I do is on my ruler I kind of line up these two lines and just mark what I'm going to cut off there. And you're going to do this for all the corners. And you're just going to snip them off. Okay, so the next portion is we're going to make the 3D shape of the mask by folding it. So with your sewn line here and the base, you're going to fold the base up to your fold line, and the edge of your cut portion here, you're going to fold it. So I'm going to show you how to do that again. Basically what you're going to do is make this line horizontal with this line. So you're going to go fold it, put your finger, and fold it up. And then I like to pin it. And then you're going to do the top portion, fold it down flat, and then put your finger on the one closest to the line, and then fold your mask up. And the same to this other side. You're going to fold it to the line and fold it up, pin it, and then the top portion and pin it. So as you can see, it's already kind of starting to take shape here for the 3D mask. We're going to attach the binding now since we're at this point. So I grab my binding and I unfold it. And this is basically going to get pinned with the same pin, like that. We'll do the other side. Pin it like that. Okay, so now it's time to put on our straps, which I've pre-made. We're gonna make a video on how to make these as well and attach it to this video, so that'll be available. But these basically go around your head, and you adjust with these beads here. So you put one on either end, you put it about that far in, pin it, and your other one is going to go about the same distance in and pin, and then do the opposite side. Okay, and then take to the machine, and you're basically gonna go about 1/8 of an inch in and just sew in your binding and your straps. So I put my binding facing down, that way when I'm sewing I can make sure I sew over all of the edges here. So I put that in my presser foot, and I put the fabric even with this little notch here. And I just sew, and as I sew I remove my clips. Make sure you back stitch at the start and finish. Okay, so that's kind of the beginning of the binding. So now we're going to finish it off. And for here, what you have to do is basically just fold in the ends, both ends. And you can iron, that way stay a little bit easier. And push this down. So you're basically just finishing the binding. And the straps, I like to make them facing out. So what we're going to do is sew them down facing out. So this will be towards your ear over here. But I clip and clip, and it's going to be the same for both sides. So I And like I said, we're gonna sew just down the middle of the binding strip here. Make sure you forward and back stitch to lock in your stitches. Okay, so basically at this point your mask is complete. You're just going to want to go through and trim any like threads, loose threads that you have, like so, with your scissors, or you can use like a stitch puller. And just clean it up. Okay, that's your mask. And like I said, there's a few options to add filters if you'd like. I purchased these off of Etsy. I don't recall the name of the seller, but I'll link it in the description box below. And it came with 3 pieces, so it's the back, the center, and the front. And you put this little center piece in, like so, and then just pop this on. To put it in your mask, it came with these stickers. And what I did was folded my mask in half, and then I put this little sticker on, and I opened my mask and kind of just folded it in half. And then my scissors, I just cut around the circle as like a guide, as close to the sticker as possible because it seems to be an exact match to the respirator. So then you'll have a hole in your mask, and then from here you put the back face piece in, and then you just snap the front on like so. And there's also these filters you can buy online, and these tend to fit fairly snugly in the base of the mask. Okay, thanks for watching the video on how to make these 3D masks. My name's Evangeline, and we'll see you next time.